Part 3, how do I get a manager? In case you missed part 1 and 2, we're peeling back the curtain on the most frequently asked question I get. How do I get a manager? And it's a really tough question to answer because there's no singular way to go about this. But allow me to give you some best practices that's going to help you tremendously in this process. First off, if you're new here, I'm Dave Rose. Glad you're here. I'm an artist manager that's managed the careers of dozens of Billboard charting, Grammy, CMA, or Dove Award winning artists over the years, and my company currently manages about 9 internationally known acts. Like and follow this page and we're going to talk about your music. So here we go. How do you get a manager, part 3? And by the way, if you're looking for a quick fix on this, on how to get a manager, there is no such thing. So this is also not a short video. I do not apologize for that. If you can't watch it now, that's fine. Follow my page, save the post, and come back when you can, because you're going to need this at some point. So the first thing we need to understand is that the relationship between an artist and a manager is very personal. Your manager is going to be a combination of your therapist and your work spouse. Not to mention your sidekick as a creative partner. A manager is not someone you typically hire for 3 months and then move on. This is a relationship. And I tell you this because you need to think about getting a manager in the same way you might think about developing any relationship. It starts by meeting them, getting to know them, finding out if you like them and if they like you, and do you think you could possibly work well together. And if you're a developing artist, no matter what level of development that might be, any mid-level to large manager knows that there is a long runway before the two of you can make some respectable income together. Therefore, they're likely going to require you to sign an agreement that will bind you together for a relatively long period of time. So you need to be really sure on both sides of this equation that the two of you are compatible. So how do you get a manager? Starts with getting to know some, letting them get to know you. You can do that by going to music conferences, go to networking events in major music cities, or now it's easier than ever to meet people in the music business online, either right here on TikTok or through platforms like artistmanagers.io. Getting a manager starts by expanding your personal network and, more importantly, nurturing that network. But once you're doing that, once you're meeting industry people, the next step is creating a situation where you have something to manage. Very rarely is a manager interested in starting from zero income and building it from there. Usually a manager needs some sign that there's traction, that you're creating art that people are interested in. And once there's a little bit of traction, you two can build on that. As a developing artist, you want to get to the point where the manager is chasing you, not the other way around. There's a famous music business quote about managers, and that's this: you can't get a manager until you have something to manage. But as you nurture these relationships, update these connections on your traction. Some say you can't get what you want if you don't ask for it, and I'm a believer in that as well. But asking a manager that you don't know very well, would you manage me, is not really the best approach. If you don't have a manager and are a developing artist, we kind of know that you're probably open to the idea of a manager. So yeah, don't ask someone to manage you unless or until you know them well. Like I say, it's a personal relationship. So in the same way you wouldn't ask someone to marry you without getting to know them, don't ask a manager to manage you without getting to know each other. If you ask us to manage you without knowing us, it's a red flag. I mean, for all you know, I might be an asshole. It's worth noting that the most management deals for developing artists at any level are multi-year deals. So yeah, you don't want to jump into bed with the first manager that you meet. That'd be like getting married to the first person you meet at a bar sometime. It might work out, but the chances are it won't. Get to know the manager because you'll likely be with them for a while. A more appropriate way to approach a manager might be to share more about your team. Maybe share some recent accolades you got. Talk about the festival that just booked you. And you're always welcome to tell a manager that you'd welcome any of their advice that they may have. I cannot stress this enough. Develop relationships with as many managers as possible in all different ways to meet managers. There's no magic wand, no easy way to do this, but that's how you get a manager, one relationship at a time. I hope that helps.